Hello, crypto aficionados, and we got a late night news update for you. First of all, the Ethereum Foundation was dumping Ethereum lately. Yes, they were. And maybe this comes on the heels of Vitalik saying that Ethereum might just fork. This is also probably one of the reasons that Ethereum has dumped harder than many other coins. So this is backed up by on-chain data from you today, but you can actually just look on-chain for this as well. They transferred about 1,700 Ethereum and they sold it for 2.738 million USDC. Now, this is not a large glob of Ethereum, but it is still millions of dollars. And people just don't really like to see the foundation dumping Ethereum. Maybe they wanted to fund something, but maybe they just wanted to cash out. Basically, the sale was actually made when Ethereum was $1,611. Now it is $1,586. So it's only dumped a little bit since they sold the Ethereum, so it shouldn't have that much effect. But of course, people are always going to be watching these foundations and these companies when they sell their own coin, maybe like signaling that there's some lack of confidence. I don't think that's the case usually, but in this case, like some people might be getting a little weary because of the possible fork that Ethereum is actually going to undergo sooner rather than later, maybe. Because Vitalik did actually submit a paper that looks like Ethereum wants to go either Cardano's route or Polkadot's route. Now, we've already spent a couple of videos talking about which route they should go. One of them spells disaster maybe for L2s. The other one, I'm not really sure. It's possible they actually go that route. So might be a lot of upheaval coming in the Ethereum world and in the Ethereum community, and maybe the developers want to sell out. Wouldn't really surprise me and wouldn't really shock me that the foundation wants to liquidate at least some of its funds. Of course, 1,700 Ethereum isn't really a significant amount of Ethereum to like someone like the Ethereum Foundation. So obviously they're not going like peace. They have still plenty of Ethereum, so I wouldn't worry too much. But they did sell off a couple $1 million worth of Ethereum, and I have no idea how much Ethereum the foundation has altogether because I just don't have privy to that kind of information, but really not something to really worry about unless they start dumping large amounts of Ethereum outside of this. The Twitter account of Satoshi Nakamoto says he will reveal himself in 2024, but there is a warning about this. So on bitcoinstimmy.com. So basically like account claiming to be Satoshi shares when he will reveal his identity in mysterious message. He actually typed it backwards. If you look at Satoshi Nakamoto here, this is the @Satoshi account. So this is basically like backwards. So it reads, the mystery of who I am will be delivered with lots of evidence in the year 2024. Now, if you actually look at what's right below it, it says it's Craig Wright. And readers added context they thought people might want to know. Craig Wright claims to be Satoshi Nakamoto, but has been proven to be a fraud. He controls his account and should not be trusted. I would actually trust the people that actually added context. So the thing is, the Twitter account in question has been sharing BTC-related posts since October 2nd. I think Craig Wright is losing all those lawsuits, and he's lacking quite a lot of credibility right now. So he's basically using anything possible to boost up his credibility. But I don't think it will work because I don't think anyone's actually going to believe him. Of course, he's just talking about the technical features of BTC. Obviously, no one really, besides the crazy BSV people, no one actually believes that Craig Wright is actually Satoshi Nakamoto. And I'm not exactly sure what kind of evidence he's going to show, but the only evidence that will be accepted is if he actually moves the Satoshi wallet account, or if he shows us some kind of something to do with the Genesis block. Otherwise, Craig Wright is obviously not Satoshi Nakamoto, and no matter what kind of BS documents and stuff that he actually comes up, it's not going to work. Trust me, he's had many chances to prove this in court. And every time he's come up with some excuse of why he can't actually prove it in court. And the evidence that he has given is completely and utterly BS. One of them was basically a bunch of public addresses containing Bitcoin, which anyone can come up with. So realistically, this is probably just another hoax because the stuff he's actually been posting since October 2nd is general knowledge that everyone actually knows. It's not like some secret that only Satoshi Nakamoto knows. It's general knowledge that anyone dealing heavily with Bitcoin actually knows. And of course, there's a lot of people following the Satoshi Nakamoto account. It's almost at 100K followers. But obviously, people don't really believe this account. And Rich Quack, the mystery of who I am will be revealed with lots of evidence in the year 2024. And, they're saying that. And of course, people are guessing who it is, but there is actually evidence that this is actually controlled by Craig Wright, that he actually bought this account from someone a while ago. And there's a good chance that if it was Hal pretty much like died of ALS before this account even was created, because this account wasn't created until 2018, which is roughly 9 years after Bitcoin was created. So no one should really pay too much attention to this. So basically, Craig also said, you also said that in 2019 you would come in with all the evidence and hashes to prove you are Satoshi. Then you just said, I will later. This world has become slower. Which means, if you don't know, Craig Wright has basically been teaming up with Kevin Iyer, who recently just left him, by the way, in his quest. And he's been trying to basically crack the Satoshi wallet. And the reason he's trying to do that is because he doesn't actually have access to the Satoshi wallet, which proves that he's not actually Satoshi Nakamoto. Of course, with Craig Wright, it's always the next year when it'll happen. And of course, when the evidence comes out, it's most likely going to be BS evidence once it is examined by the general populace and by crypto coiners in general. So don't believe this. It's probably just CSW trying to fool us again. So even more, we have from FTX. Because of Gary Wang's testimony and because of research on it, we know that FTX faked its insurance fund figure. So that's another piece of fraud, and they were all in on it. So basically, what happened is that FTX used random Python code to fake its insurance fund figure, and this was actually kind of explained by Gary Wang. So basically, they said they had a bunch of FTT in their insurance fund to cover people's losses, which, of course, they did not. Instead, the figure shown to the public was calculated by multiplying the daily trading volume of FTX by a random number close to 7,500. It just doesn't get any better than this. So basically, however much volume was traded on FTX times some random number they literally pulled out of their ass, that was close to 7,500. So basically, if you actually read this back in 2021, I'm going to show you this. If you read this back in 2021, FTX's account tweeted back in 2021. This is actually before they fell apart. The 5.25 million FTT we put in our insurance fund in 2019 now makes the fund worth over 100 million USD. And of course, now that we all know, this number looks completely made up. But the thing is, obviously everyone knows now, but if you look at the comments from 2021, am I wrong, or was it 25 million a couple weeks ago? Obviously, this was from February 4th, 2021. So basically, this was all false, and this is going to be another strike that they use against SBF in the trial. So there's a lot of evidence piling up on social media, and even if you delete your tweets, I'm pretty sure they can actually get them back somehow. So SBF is completely screwed. His lieutenants know everything and all the lies that he told, and they're actually revealing it all to the public. So basically, all the exhibits that we actually looked at SBF claims that he's a total fraud, and there's basically no way that he can actually get out of this. The noose is tightening around his neck, and I don't think any of his political connections can actually save him. I would expect, maybe 10 years in prison without parole, and maybe he can get paroled after 10 years. I know a lot of you want more than that, but, it is a white-collar crime, and you know what they do with white-collar crimes. They don't punish them nearly as hard as, violent crimes, even though some of these white-collar crimes hurt a lot more people. So, the last piece of news is the Ripple CEO is leaving Ripple. This is after they went through all the entire fight. Executive transitions are pretty common in the industry, and this should not actually be a very concerning factor. So the CFO is actually stepping down. And of course, she did a really good job leading Ripple through all the lawsuits. And of course, she joined Ripple in April 2021 after more than 4 years of CFO payments at PayNearMe. So she is just hopping pegs and moving up the ladder. And she is actually going to a healthcare company as the CFO as well. So transitioning roles, Ripple is probably going to have someone new in the job. And I don't think like the CFO was the one that actually made headlines anyway. It's not like Brad Garlinghouse or David Schwartz actually left. So not much to actually talk about, not much to be worried about. I think Ripple is perfectly fine. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.